Relationships. They're the very foundation of our lives, the threads that weave together the tapestry of our human experience. But navigating those connections can sometimes feel like trying to sail through a storm. What if I told you that even the smallest shifts in our approach can make the biggest difference? What if we could transform those stormy seas into something calmer, something deeper, something more fulfilling? Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore 7 micro shifts, 7 subtle yet powerful adjustments we can make in our interactions that have the potential to revolutionize our relationships. These aren't grand gestures or overnight transformations. They're small, intentional changes, tiny seeds of awareness that can blossom into deeper connections, greater understanding, and more fulfilling bonds. Are you ready to discover the power of these micro shifts? Let's dive in. Imagine this. You're having a conversation, and something your partner says triggers a reaction within you. It could be anger, frustration, even hurt. In that moment before you respond, I invite you to pause. This pause isn't about suppressing your emotions, but rather about creating space. Space to observe the emotions rising within you without judgment. Space to breathe, to collect your thoughts, to choose a response from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. Think of it like hitting the pause button on a remote. When we react impulsively, we're often reacting to past experiences, old wounds, or ingrained patterns. This pause allows us to break free from those automatic responses and choose a different path. This one micro-shift, this simple act of pausing, can be transformative. It can prevent misunderstandings, de-escalate conflict, and create a safer space for open and honest communication. The next time you feel that surge of emotion in a conversation, remember the power of the pause. You might be surprised by the difference it makes. So often in conversations, we listen with the intention of simply replying. We're formulating our next point while the other person is still speaking, waiting for our turn to interject. But what if we shifted our focus from responding to truly understanding? Active listening is about being fully present in the conversation, giving your undivided attention to the person speaking. It's about silencing the chatter of your own mind and opening your heart to hear not just their words, but the emotions beneath them. When we listen to understand, we put aside our own agendas, our need to be right, our desire to defend our own perspectives. Instead, we approach the conversation with curiosity, seeking to truly grasp the other person's experience. This shift from responding to understanding can be incredibly powerful. It fosters deeper connection, reduces defensiveness, and creates a space for empathy and compassion to flourish. Remember, true listening isn't about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about quieting your mind and opening your heart to truly hear what the other person is saying. Many relationship struggles stem from unmet needs. We often expect our partners to intuitively understand what we need, and when they don't, it can lead to frustration, resentment, and misunderstandings. This is where the power of clear communication comes in. Learning to articulate our needs openly and honestly is crucial for building healthy, fulfilling relationships. This means moving beyond hints and subtle cues and expressing ourselves directly and respectfully. It's about sharing our desires, our fears, and our vulnerabilities with our partners, creating a space of emotional safety and transparency. When we express our needs clearly, we empower our partners to show up for us in meaningful ways. We're not asking them to read our minds. We're giving them the information they need to support us, love us, and understand us more deeply. Remember, clear communication is the bridge to deeper connection. By expressing our needs openly, we create a foundation of trust and understanding in our relationships. Imagine someone sharing their deepest feelings with you, their fears, their joys, their vulnerabilities. In that moment, what they crave most is validation, to feel seen, heard, and understood. Validating emotions doesn't necessarily mean agreeing with them. It simply means acknowledging and accepting the other person's emotional experience as valid, even if you don't fully understand it or share the same perspective. It's about saying, I hear you. I see your pain. I understand that you're feeling this way. It's about creating a safe space for them to express themselves without judgment or criticism. When we validate someone's emotions, we create a deeper sense of connection and trust. We're telling them that their feelings matter, that they're safe to be vulnerable with us. This simple act of validation can be, honestly, incredibly healing, fostering emotional safety, and strengthening the bonds of our relationships. Think back to a time when someone pointed the finger at you, blaming you for something. How did it make you feel? Defensive? Attacked? When we use you statements in conversations, especially during disagreements, it can create a sense of blame and accusation, triggering defensiveness and escalating conflict. Shifting to I statements can completely transform the dynamic of a conversation. Instead of saying, "You always do this," try saying, "I feel hurt when this happens." By focusing on our own experiences and feelings, we take ownership of our emotions and avoid placing blame on the other person. This opens up space for constructive dialogue, allowing us to express our needs and perspectives without attacking or accusing. Remember, I statements are not about suppressing your feelings or avoiding accountability. They're about communicating your experience in a way that fosters understanding and encourages productive conversation. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship, but how we approach conflict can either strengthen or weaken our bonds. Often when disagreements arise, we dig in our heels, defend our positions, and view the other person as an adversary. What if, instead of viewing conflict as a battle to be won, we approached it as an opportunity for growth and understanding? This is where empathy becomes essential. Empathy is the ability to step outside of our own perspective and see the situation through the other person's eyes. It's about understanding their feelings, their motivations, and their experiences, even if we don't agree with them. When we practice empathy in conflict, we create a bridge of understanding. We move away from judgment and blame and towards compassion and connection. Remember, empathy isn't about condoning hurtful behavior. It's about creating a space for understanding, which can pave the way for resolution and growth. Grand gestures are wonderful, but it's the small, everyday acts of love and appreciation that truly nourish a relationship. These small gestures, these tiny seeds of kindness and thoughtfulness, are the lifeblood of lasting connections. It's about noticing the little things your partner does for you, the way they make you laugh, the effort they put into making you happy. It's about expressing your gratitude for their presence in your life, for the way they enrich your world. Take a moment to reflect on the small gestures your partner makes that often go unnoticed. A phone call during a stressful day, a helping hand with a chore, a listening ear after a long day. When we appreciate the small things, we shift our focus from what's missing to what's present. We cultivate an attitude of gratitude which can transform the entire dynamic of our relationships. Remember, a simple thank you, a heartfelt compliment, or a gesture of affection can go a long way in strengthening the bonds of love and appreciation in your life. These 7 micro shifts might seem small, almost too simple, but their power lies in their consistency. It's about weaving these subtle shifts into the fabric of our daily interactions, making them a natural part of how we relate to others. Transformation doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes it's the smallest shifts, the tiniest seeds of awareness that blossom into the most profound changes. As you begin to integrate these micro shifts into your relationships, I invite you to observe the subtle yet powerful ways in which they transform your connections. If you found these micro shifts helpful, I encourage you to subscribe and share this video with your loved ones. Let's create a ripple effect of connection and understanding, one micro shift at a time.